Hello everyone, and welcome aboard for an unforgettable journey into the cold and powerful waters where giant halibut rule the ocean floor. Today we will explore the demanding world of longline fishing, a traditional yet highly effective method used by skilled fishermen to catch some of the largest halibut on Earth. Beneath the rolling waves, these massive flatfish lie hidden against the seabed, waiting patiently for prey while fishermen prepare miles of baited hooks designed to reach the depths where giants live. From the careful preparation of bait and gear to the intense struggle of hauling enormous fish from the deep, every moment is filled with anticipation, hard work, and respect for the sea. Join us as we follow experienced crews through harsh weather, long hours, and thrilling encounters with giant halibut that can weigh hundreds of kilograms and test both equipment and human endurance. This remarkable fishing tradition combines patience, knowledge, and determination, offering a fascinating look into one of the most challenging and rewarding forms of commercial fishing in the world. As the longline settles across the deep seabed, hundreds of baited hooks rest quietly in the darkness where giant halibut spend much of their lives. The crew carefully marks the position of the line using buoys and GS equipment before beginning the long wait. Hours later, sometimes after an entire night, the fishermen return to retrieve their gear. The hauling process is often the most exciting and physically demanding stage of the operation. Powerful hydraulic line haulers pull the main line from the depths, while crew members monitor every section for signs of movement. Smaller fish may appear first, but everyone remains focused on the possibility of encountering a true giant. Suddenly, the tension on the line increases dramatically. The rope vibrates under heavy. Pressure, and experienced fishermen immediately recognize the unmistakable resistance of a massive halibut. Unlike many fast-swimming pelagic fish, giant halibut rely on their incredible weight and strength to remain close to the bottom, forcing the crew into a slow and determined battle. Meter by meter, the fish is brought closer to the surface. The line remains under constant strain as the enormous flatfish fights to escape. When the giant finally emerges from the dark water, its sheer size often astonishes even veteran fishermen. Some specimens measure well over 2 meters in length and possess tremendous muscular power. The crew works together carefully because a large halibut can thrash violently when brought aboard. Using gaffs, ropes, and specialized handling techniques, they secure the fish safely while minimizing damage to both the catch and the equipment. On deck, the giant halibut becomes the center of attention as measurements are taken and the crew admires the remarkable fish. Throughout the season, fishermen face changing weather conditions, rough seas, and freezing temperatures while pursuing these valuable bottom dwellers. Success depends not only on strong equipment but also on extensive knowledge of ocean currents, seabed structure, feeding behavior, and seasonal migration patterns. Experienced captains study years of accumulated observations to identify productive fishing grounds where giant halibut are most likely to gather. Every trip involves careful planning, from selecting fresh bait to determining the optimal depth for setting the line. In many northern fishing regions, storms can develop rapidly, creating dangerous conditions that challenge even the most skilled crews. Despite these hardships, the possibility of landing another giant halibut continues. To drive fishermen back to the sea. The combination of patience, endurance, and excitement makes longline halibut fishing one of the most respected traditions in commercial and recreational fisheries alike. After securing the giant halibut on deck, the crew quickly returns their attention to the remaining hooks because the longline may stretch for several kilometers across the ocean floor. Each section of line must be hauled carefully to prevent tangles and ensure that every catch is handled properly. As the operation continues, more halibut of varying sizes emerge from the depths, along with occasional bycatch species that are either retained according to regulations or released whenever possible. The deck becomes a busy workplace where every crew member performs a specific task. Some remove fish from hooks, others rebait lines for future sets, while the captain monitors weather conditions and navigates the vessel. Efficiency is essential. Because valuable fishing time can be lost if the crew falls behind. During productive seasons, several giant halibut may be landed in a single trip, each one representing hours of preparation and years of accumulated experience. The largest fish often become legendary among fishermen, with stories passed from one generation to the next about massive halibut that nearly pulled equipment overboard or required multiple crew members to control. These stories reflect the respect that fishermen have for such powerful creatures. Once the catch is secured, the fish are cleaned, sorted, and stored in refrigerated holds, designed to preserve freshness and quality. Proper handling is critical, because giant halibut are highly valued in seafood markets around the world. Buyers seek firm, white flesh known for its mild flavor and excellent texture. Maintaining top quality from the moment the fish leaves the water. It reaches consumers is an important part of the fishing industry. Modern vessels often combine traditional fishing knowledge with advanced technology. High-resolution sonar systems help captains identify promising seabed features, while electronic navigation equipment allows precise placement of longlines in productive areas. Despite these technological improvements, success still depends heavily on human judgment. Experienced fishermen understand subtle environmental changes that cannot always be detected by instruments. They observe water temperature, current direction, tidal movement, and seasonal feeding activity when deciding where to fish. In remote northern waters, longline crews may spend days or even weeks at sea pursuing giant halibut. Life aboard the vessel follows a demanding routine of setting gear, hauling lines, processing fish, maintaining the equipment. and preparing for the next operation. Sleep often comes in short intervals as crews work around changing tides and weather conditions. Yet many fishermen consider the challenges worthwhile, because every trip offers the possibility of encountering another extraordinary fish from the deep. When a truly massive halibut appears beside the vessel, the atmosphere on deck changes instantly. Cameras emerge, crew members gather around, and years of experience combine with pure excitement as the giant is carefully brought aboard. Such moments remind everyone why longline fishing remains one of the most thrilling methods for targeting these remarkable giants of the ocean floor. Beyond the excitement of landing giant halibut, longline fishing is a continuous lesson in patience and persistence. Many fishing trips begin long before sunrise, when the crew gathers on deck under cold winds and dark skies. The vessel moves steadily toward distant fishing grounds, while fishermen prepare thousands of hooks, inspect ropes, check buoys, and organize bait. Every detail matters, because a small mistake can affect the success of the entire operation. Once the vessel reaches the chosen location, the captain carefully aligns the boat with the current and begins deploying the gear. The main line disappears slowly beneath the waves, carrying hundreds of branch lines and baited hooks toward the seabed where giant halibut wait. For hours afterward, there is little to do but monitor conditions and prepare for retrieval. The ocean often appears calm on the surface, yet far below, an invisible struggle for survival continues among countless marine species. Giant halibut patrol the bottom searching for fish, fruit, crustaceans, and other prey. Their flattened bodies allow them to blend almost perfectly with the seabed, making them highly effective ambush predators. A large halibut may remain motionless for long periods before striking suddenly with surprising speed. This behavior is one reason why longline fishing can be so effective when bait is presented naturally near the bottom. As the hooks soak in the water, the crew remains alert. Weather forecasts are reviewed repeatedly because conditions at sea can change without warning. Strong winds, heavy rain, dense fog, and rough waves can transform a routine fishing operation into a difficult challenge. Experienced captains constantly evaluate risks, knowing that safety must always take priority over the catch. Even the most productive fishing grounds are not worth endangering lives. When retrieval begins, the work becomes intense. The hydraulic hauler pulls the line steadily upward while fishermen guide it carefully across rollers and sorting stations. Every hook tells a different story. Some return empty after bait has been stolen by smaller fish. Others hold cod, hit, rockfish, or other bottom-dwelling species. There, occasionally, the line tightens dramatically and everyone senses that something exceptional is attached below. The battle with a giant halibut is often a contest of endurance rather than speed. The fish uses its immense body weight to resist capture, forcing the crew to rely on strong equipment and careful technique. As the fish approaches the surface, its broad shape becomes visible beneath the water. The sight is unforgettable. Sunlight reflects from the massive body as the halibut circles slowly beneath the vessel. Crew members position themselves strategically, preparing ropes and landing equipment. Timing is critical because a powerful surge from the fish can create dangerous situations if handled incorrectly. Once secure, the giant is brought aboard with a combination of teamwork, strength, and experience. The successful landing of such a fish represents far more than simple luck. It reflects countless decisions made throughout the trip, from selecting fishing grounds and bait to maintaining gear and reading environmental conditions. Over the years, fishermen develop an almost instinctive understanding of the sea. They learn where underwater ridges attract prey, how seasonal migrations influence fish distribution, and when changing currents may improve or reduce fishing success. This knowledge is often passed down through generations, forming a valuable tradition that remains central to many coastal communities. In ports where halibut fishing has been practiced for decades, stories of legendary catches become part of local history. Fishermen gather to compare experiences, discuss weather patterns, and share memories of extraordinary fish encountered during their careers. Some speak of halibut so large that they barely fit on deck, while others recall battles that lasted for hours before the fish was finally secured. These stories help preserve the culture of longline fishing and inspire younger generations to continue the profession. Economic importance also plays a major role in the industry. Giant halibut are among the most valuable species targeted by many northern fishing fleets. Their high-quality meat is sold in markets, restaurants, and seafood distributors across the world. Revenue from halibut fishing supports vessel owners, crew members, processing plants. Transportation companies, equipment suppliers, and numerous coastal businesses. Entire communities may depend on a successful fishing season to sustain local economies. For this reason, careful management of fish stocks is essential. Sustainable fishing practices help ensure that future generations can continue harvesting halibut while maintaining healthy marine ecosystems. Regulations often include catch limits, size restrictions, seasonal closures, and monitoring programs designed to protect breeding populations. Responsible fishermen recognize the importance of these measures because the long-term future of the industry depends on healthy fish stocks. Modern conservation efforts frequently involve cooperation between scientists, government agencies, and fishing communities. Researchers study halibut growth rates, migration patterns, reproductive behavior. And population trends to improve management decisions. Data collected from commercial vessels contributes valuable information that helps maintain sustainable harvest levels. As a result, longline fishing today often combines traditional experience with scientific understanding. Technological innovation continues to influence the industry as well. Advanced navigation systems allow vessels to operate with remarkable precision. Electronic charting equipment provides detailed information about underwater terrain, while satellite communication systems keep crews connected with weather services and shore-based operations. Improvements in gear design have increased efficiency and reduced unintended impacts on non-target species. Nevertheless, technology cannot replace the judgment developed through years of practical experience. The ocean remains unpredictable, and successful fishermen must constantly adapt. To changing conditions. During extended voyages, daily life aboard a halibut vessel follows a demanding rhythm. Work shifts may continue around the clock, especially during productive periods. Meals are often eaten quickly between tasks, and rest periods can be brief. Crew members learn to function efficiently despite fatigue, cold temperatures, and physically challenging conditions. Strong teamwork becomes essential because every person depends on the others for safety and success. Trust develops naturally among those who spend long periods working together in remote waters. Friendships formed at sea often last a lifetime. Even after decades in the profession, many fishermen describe a sense of excitement each time they prepare to retrieve a longline. The possibility of discovering what lies beneath the surface never completely disappears. Every haul is unique, and every giant halibut provides a reminder of the ocean's extraordinary power and mystery. The deep sea remains one of the least visible environments on Earth, yet it continues to provide food, livelihoods, and unforgettable experiences for those willing to venture into its vast waters. The longline fisherman, the pursuit of giant halibut, is more than a job. It is a tradition built on patience, resilience, skill, and respect for nature. Each voyage contributes another chapter to a story that has been unfolding for generations, connecting people to the sea through hard work, adventure, and the enduring challenge of catching one of the largest and most impressive flatfish in the world. As the season progresses, fishermen often travel farther offshore in search of larger concentrations of halibut. These journeys can take vessels into remote waters, where the Horizon stretches endlessly in every direction, and signs of land disappear completely. In such environments, crews rely heavily on navigation systems, weather forecasts, and their collective experience. Every decision carries importance because fuel consumption, fishing time, and safety all depend on efficient planning. The captain studies charts showing underwater canyons, gravel beds, rocky ledges, and deep plateaus where giant halibut are known to gather. These features create feeding opportunities by concentrating bait fish and other prey species, making them attractive hunting grounds for large predators. Once a promising area is identified, the crew prepares another set of longlines. Hook after hook is baited and deployed with practiced precision. The operation may appear routine to an outside observer, but every movement reflects years of training and repetition. The success of the entire trip often depends on details that are easy to overlook. The freshness of the bait, the spacing between hooks, the depth of the set, and the timing of deployment can all influence results. Experienced fishermen constantly adjust these variables according to changing conditions. Some days, the fish feed aggressively, and many hooks return occupied. On other days, despite perfect weather and ideal locations, the catch may be disappointing. Such unpredictability is part of life at sea and teaches patience better than any classroom ever could. During long periods of waiting, crew members perform maintenance tasks to keep the vessel operating efficiently. Hooks are sharpened, ropes are inspected for wear, engines are checked, and safety equipment is tested. Preventive maintenance is essential because mechanical failures far from shore can create serious problems. A reliable vessel is every bit as important as good fishing grounds. While the gear remains on the bottom, the ocean continues its endless cycle of activity. Seabirds circle overhead searching for food. Marine mammals occasionally surface nearby, and changing weather patterns reshape the appearance of the sea from hour to hour. Some mornings begin with calm water that reflects the sky like glass. By afternoon, strong winds may create steep waves that crash against the hull and send spray across the deck. Fishermen learn to respect these rapid changes and remain prepared for whatever conditions may develop. When a longline is finally hauled after many hours on the seabed, anticipation spreads through the crew once again. The first section of line emerges, slowly from the depths, carrying evidence of what has occurred below. Empty hooks suggest that bait has been removed. Damaged leaders may indicate encounters with large fish. Occasionally, a sequence of occupied hooks reveals that the line passed through an active feeding area. Then comes the moment every halibut fisherman hopes for. The line suddenly grows heavy, and the hauler works harder as something powerful resists from below. Crew members exchange knowing glances while preparing for a potentially difficult landing. The fish remains unseen at first, hidden by the dark water beneath the vessel. Gradually, a massive outline appears. The broad body of a giant halibut becomes visible as it rises closer to the surface, revealing the true scale of the catch. Even fishermen who have spent decades at sea often pause for a moment when confronted with an exceptionally large specimen. Such fish are living reminders of how long and successfully some individuals survive in the ocean. Bringing one aboard requires concentration and teamwork. Every crew member understands their role, and communication becomes especially important. Once secured, the fish is measured and carefully processed to preserve quality. The catch is then stored under controlled conditions that maintain freshness throughout the remainder of the voyage. High-quality handling practices ensure that consumers ultimately receive seafood in excellent condition. Beyond the practical aspects of fishing, many fishermen develop a deep appreciation for the marine environment. Spending years on the ocean creates an awareness of seasonal cycles, wildlife behavior, and environmental change that few people experience firsthand. They observe migrations, monitor water conditions, and witness both the abundance and vulnerability of marine ecosystems. This connection often strengthens support for responsible management and sustainable harvesting practices. Many fishing communities understand that conservation is not an obstacle to success, but rather a foundation for long-term prosperity. Healthy fish populations support stable fisheries, and stable fisheries support future generations of fishermen. Throughout history, giant halibut have inspired respect because of their size, strength, and ability to survive in harsh underwater environments. Some specimens reach ages that rival those of many terrestrial animals, spending decades growing slowly in cold northern waters. Their long lifespan makes careful management especially important. By protecting breeding populations and maintaining sustainable harvest levels, fisheries can continue benefiting both people and ecosystems. The relationship between humans and the sea has always involved a balance between harvest and stewardship. Longline fishermen play an important role in maintaining that balance through responsible practices and cooperation with scientific management programs. As another day draws to a close, The vessel continues its work beneath a sky filled with fading light. The crew prepares equipment for the next set, knowing that tomorrow may bring new challenges and new opportunities. Fatigue is common after long hours of labor, yet a sense of purpose remains strong. Every successful haul reflects skill, effort, and perseverance. Every giant halibut landed represents a remarkable achievement earned through patience and determination. Far from shore, surrounded by open water and guided by generations of accumulated knowledge, longline fishermen continue a tradition that connects humanity to the ocean in a powerful and enduring way. The pursuit of giant halibut remains one of the most demanding and rewarding adventures in the world of fishing, combining hard work, respect for nature, and the timeless excitement of discovering what waits beneath the waves. Writing variant document 53,821. The following days often bring a mixture of routine and surprise. Longline fishing may involve repeated cycles of setting gear, waiting, hauling, processing the catch, and preparing for the next deployment. Yet no two hauls are ever exactly the same. The ocean constantly changes, and the behavior of halibut changes with it. A fishing ground that produced excellent catches one week may become quiet the next, while another area suddenly comes alive with activity. Successful captains pay close attention to these shifts, combining recent observations with years of accumulation. Accumulated knowledge to decide where the next line should be set. Sometimes a subtle change in water temperature or current direction is enough to alter the distribution of fish across a wide region. The crew learns to recognize these patterns through experience, and over time the sea begins to reveal its rhythms to those who spend enough time on it. During productive periods, the deck becomes a place of non-stop motion. Fish are removed from hooks, measured, sorted, and stored, while fresh bait is prepared for the next set. Efficiency matters because fishing opportunities can be limited by weather, quotas, and the length of the season. Despite the pressure to work quickly, safety remains a constant priority. Wet decks, heavy equipment, and powerful fish create hazards that require concentration and teamwork. Experienced crew members watch out for one another, communicate. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of giant halibut longline fishing. From the careful preparation of miles of baited hooks to the thrilling moment when a massive halibut rises from the depths, every stage of the process reveals the dedication, skill, and determination of the fishermen who make their living at sea. Their work is not only a source of food and income but also a tradition passed down through generations, built on respect for the ocean and an understanding of its ever-changing nature. The pursuit of giant halibut is filled with challenges, from harsh weather and rough seas to the immense strength of the fish themselves. Yet these obstacles are what make each successful catch so rewarding. As the sun sets over the horizon and another voyage comes to an end, the stories, experiences, and lessons gained at sea continue to inspire those who venture into these waters. The giant halibut remains a symbol of the mystery and power of the deep ocean, reminding us that beneath the waves lies a world of extraordinary creatures and endless adventure. We hope you enjoyed learning about this remarkable fishing tradition, and we look forward to sharing more fascinating stories from the sea with you in the future. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and thank you for watching.